In this video, I'm going to talk about my background in first-person shooters, and it's going to be kind of long-winded because I have an extensive background in this game. I've always been into video games from a young age, and if most of you don't know, I am in my 40s now. But when I was younger, I used to spend hours at the arcade. If you guys don't know what arcade is, it's a store that you go to that has standalone video games, and you put quarters into the slot to add credits so you can play the game. I had to say that because there's not many arcades around anymore. Thinking back, I would have to say my first most memorable experience was when a game called Killer Instinct came out in 1994. Prior to that, Mortal Kombat had come out, and that was a fun game. I had a lot of fun playing that game. Now, during that time, consoles were pretty good. At the time, the highest end console would be like the Neo Geo. And if none of you are familiar with that, I suggest you Google it. But not many people owned them because they were so expensive. And the popular consoles at that time would have been like the Sega Genesis and the Nintendo, which had pretty bad graphics compared to the Neo Geo. The Neo Geo graphics were very comparable to the arcade graphics. So at that time, really the best gaming experience was at the arcade. Now, if you're not familiar with Killer Instinct, at the arcade, it was a loser pay game. Basically, it's one-on-one, you know that. And at the end of the match, the winner stays on the game, and the loser either has to insert another quarter to play again, or he steps down and another player steps up. And when the game came out, there was always a line at the game. Not to brag, but I would spend hours playing that game for free because I was winning all the matches. It was such a visceral experience that I remember it to this day. Now to more current events. I had just started getting into PCs and started playing a series of games made by Nova Logic, starting off with a game called Delta Force. But that game was... You guys would laugh at it if you saw it today. The graphics were very blocky. There wasn't anti-aliasing at that time, or minimal anti-aliasing. And in the distance, the soldiers literally looked like stick figures running around. But I really started to get into first-person shooters with a game called Black Hawk Down. It was, and it still kind of is popular. Believe it or not, there's people playing that game. It had a large community of clans and servers, and I met a lot of people through that. I was in a clan, and also admin of that clan, of a clan called Juggalo Troops, and our tag was JT. And around 1990, no, 2007 I started my YouTube channel because there were a lot of hackers that were hacking in our server, and to have a process where someone can dispute being called a hacker, and also to prove irrefutable evidence that someone was cheating or hacking, I would record them cheating or hacking, and I would upload it to YouTube and post it in our forums so that other people could see that and confirm that they were doing as such. So that's how my YouTube channel got started. This was back when YouTube just started. It was very small. There weren't that many videos on the site, and actually Google had another video site called Google Videos, which really didn't make sense. They were like competing against each other. And at that time I was uploading some gameplays, but most of it was videos of people hacking and cheating in the game Black Hawk Down. Then I eventually got tired of all the hackers in that game, and that's when Call of Duty 4 came out. And prior to Call of Duty 4, I had never considered playing a Call of Duty game because I wasn't really into the World War II and 1 type games. I would have to say from day one, I was all about Call of Duty. It was a totally new experience for me. This was a groundbreaking game in my eyes, and it was awesome.